in the top left. Just smacking his way through this tournament, making it all the way here. Can he go one more match? It is Zest. In the bottom right, showing, like, to say he's on point would be an understatement. These last matches against both Sue, Neeb, and Scarlet, by the way. No pushover opponents. TY has looked like the man to beat. He's playing a dominant flavor of Terran. He's playing Mech against Protoss. He's playing Bio against Zerg. I don't know what's happening in TVT. We'll have to see him against Maru, but he's got a lot of options, and he's shown that he has some new builds that have really been throwing his opponents off. Neeb looked the same way. Neeb and Scarlet both looked the same way of like, wait, what is he doing? Wait, how do I deal with this? And it really just feels like everybody's playing catch-up to this man in the bottom right corner. Looks like we're going to start off with the textbook, the standard. Walling off against a Reaper is Zest, going for a 1-gate expo, powering on the low ground, whereas TY has built a Marine first, so not out of the question. I think it's a relatively safe bet. A lot of players still wall off against Reapers, so the Reaper doesn't get nearly as much value as he might like. I'd love to see some more mech against Protoss. He's been meching it happen. Bring it all the way. Oh yeah, we gotta test whether Zest is using Diva.
The firstborn shall persevere.
Wow, that's a robo. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. You see, the problem with these players is they don't really get supply blocked to run out of minerals very often because they actually know what they're doing. So you don't get to hear their announcers nearly as much. If he's using my announcer, I'm going to retire. Okay. That's it. Wrap it up. Bring it home. Oh, wait. Oh, they just had to cut the ribbon on the command center. I don't know. Maybe he's just not using. We'll find out. Oh, what was that? It's a proxy star. He's going for a Hellion drop. So TY does slap the ribbon on the, well, cuts the ribbon on the command center. And now we'll be chasing down the Adept, because of course 2 Hellions do beat an Adept. There's going to be a wall, but that wall's not going to matter much. Really, what is going to matter is whether Zest has vision of the edge of his main. 3 Hellions, 3 Hellion shots are all it takes to kill a probe. 4 Hellions in the main, uncontested. That's a lot of damage. He should have, well, he's gonna just immediately gonna go home. No Liberator, no follow-up, no nothing. Oh, I think Zest is a little suspicious. He must have seen something. It might have been, I don't think he saw the starport, but he definitely saw something here. I think it was the Hellions not being in position. The 2 more Hellions are going to make it to the main. TY, what is this cameraman doing? TY going to get driven out, but the Hellions are unloaded in the main, so even though Zest seemed to have an idea of what was happening, guess what? The probes are going to die anyway. 6 probes. 8 probes. Yes, I'm just going to read the counter. 9! 10 probes! And he gets 2 out of there. Almost gets 3. 10 probes for 2 Hellions, and the medevac stays strongly alive. Well, it was 4 Hellions. 3 Hellions. You know what? I went to American public school, okay? I never learned how to actually do math. 3rd command center on the way behind. Another reload. Some multicolored Hellions. There's Gravitic Drive on the way. Is he going to go for a Colossus drop? What year is it? No Disruptor. It's Colossus drop. Well, I'm assuming so, because that is Gravitic Drive, not the Observer upgrade. right? I'm not 100%. Okay, one Hellion gets taken out, which means he can no longer one-shot probes. Pretty important here for TY. Or, well, for Zest, rather. Yeah. So he's going for the Warp Prism speed upgrade. The Warp Prism going so fast that you can't even see it, because he doesn't have a Warp Prism. It seems like a... Did he misclick? Did he mean to get Extended Thermal Lance or something? Like I said, Zest has been kind of YOLOing it through this tournament. And by that I mean he hasn't been playing clean. He's been playing pretty dirty. Whether it's 3 proxy robos in a row against Neeb, just kind of flying by the seat of his pants against Raynor. Like, he's all over the place. Whereas TY has been solid as a particularly solid rock. He's putting everything together. It's going to be bio this time around. I don't know if that's related to how much damage he did, or whether he feels the need to defend early. Meanwhile, a Colossus drop because he thinks he's Puck. Actually, that would be a pretty good comparison, the way he's playing. He's very similar to Puck. Very dramatic, very exciting, and oftentimes not successful. Sorry, Puck. Unfortunately, though, TY moved out at the exact worst time here. There's actually some kills coming out. There is a Viking, which counters everything involved here. Ooh, great kills! Like 12 kills on a Colossus drop. What is this? TY, that was definitely TY getting caught off guard. TY, after everything that's happened, the last thing you're expecting, I think, is a Colossus drop. You think you have that locked down. You built a Viking, you got a Raven, you got tanks. He's not going to do something so silly. But that honestly kind of keeps Zest in the game here. Without it, the worker count would be quite rough. He needs to have a little bit of a lead, since TY was able to get his infrastructure up so quickly. The thing is, there's still going to be a dangerous time here. Like, TY has resigned himself to playing pretty defensive so far. That might be about to change, I'm not sure, but Zest is running through the tech tree. He's got Templar on the way. I have yet to see him research Storm today. That is now a lie. He immediately moves out Storm, so doing the hard tech switches. Does he have another Colossus? No, just the one. The one he's flying around in a Warp Prism. Where is that Prism, by the way? Where did the Prism go? Did he recall? I don't know if he recalled or... Anyways, now there are Templar in the Prism, so whatever we're doing, Zest, let's do it. Let's have some fun. Zest has a probe making up for the lack of observers right now, because of course robotics time is at a premium. TY is moving out. He's got 1-1 finishing up. Zest isn't too badly off on his upgrades, considering how much he's invested in tech. So, honestly, like, I feel Zest has been so greedy and off-tempo that he's kind of put himself in a nice spot. It's now TY who's like, wait, what am I supposed to do? He's looking at the army. He sees Templar, we got Colossi, but he also has a third and is going towards a fourth, so it's not like TY is in some sort of, I just need to sit back and macro up. No. Zest is building a strong army that can compete in the later game. He's getting Blink. He's getting +2. He already has Storm and access to Colossi at the very least. TY is getting his 2-2. He did get a Ghost Academy. He's one of the best players, if not the best Terran player in the entire world when it comes to just being on point with his tech. He's a step, well, usually, not this game, but usually a step ahead, whether it is getting Ghost to deal with Templar, Vikings for Colossi, Ranged Liberators for pretty much everything under the sun, and Blink Stalkers for anything that flies over it. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Vikings. I don't even remember what my terrible analogy was now. I bet it was clever and I just ruined it. Moving on. Speaking of clever, TY sending out Marines to make sure, well, I was going to say to make sure this army isn't spotted moving out, but kind of gave up that element of surprise when he brought the rest of the cavalry. some ghosts. Those aren't ghosts. Well, those are ghosts. God! Ah! We just won't use real names for anything. We got the big laser boys and the pony trotting shooty boys and the big glowing blue ball and the ones with the fancy capes up against a bunch of guys with guns who take a lot of drugs. So who will come out on top? Honestly, it really does come down to the guys with the bigger guns and the fancier armor. If those ghosts land their EMPs, or if the storms land, it's really going to come down to that anti-armor missile. Big storm to start, but it's semi-dodge. Oh, that's a huge one on TY's army. The Stalkers blink forward, but into the tanks. The Colossi is going to go down. It might be time to just drop those Vikings. He's going for the prism. No reinforcements. There's also a Disruptor, by the way. Disruptor doesn't find much. The Vikings could drop. The tanks are holding for now. Zest is still kind of attacking. Well, there's a bunch more charge lots where that came from. TY does have a planetary. Is he going to try to defend it? A little late on the draw with the repairing SCVs. Oh, the Disruptor goes down to the planetary. Another Disruptor fires. Big hit, and the planetary falls as well. What a mess! Another Disruptor shows up to the party. There's like no bio units left, though. Zest is kind of just crushing everything through. TY's scrambling to put together whatever he has left to defend, and Zest leaves. That is definitely a breaking. That is an armed robbery right there. Zest just came in, slapped him around, took a few punches for sure, but and then left. And TY has to be wondering exactly what just happened. Like, it felt like he was pretty well set for the fight. Zest was half-heartedly attacking in the tanks, but then suddenly a couple storms and a Disruptor ruined the whole day. It really does feel Zest is throwing things out there and seeing what sticks, and so far TY has been quite a magnet for it. Okay. So Zest, 68 probes and counting. He's getting his 3-3, so is TY. It wasn't because Zest didn't have a booming economy back at home. TY's still in it, even though he lost so many SCVs. He's very good at building SCVs. The Speed Prism bringing in Templar. He's going to try to break it again. The forward siege line, but the storm's at the back. He still has the Templar Prism. The Vikings looking to box it out. The bio at the back. TY now down significantly on supply. Some feedbacks as well. Is there any more storm? There's one at the back. He's going to try to land the EMPs. He does it over the front line here, but there's still a Disruptor involved. A snipe on a Templar. Really looking to deal with that Disruptor. He does. But there's so many more charge lots. Here comes everybody. The boys have to be pulled to hold the line. There's still a storm. A big storm. The Disruptors come trundling in. Just trying to get involved. Another shot fired. Another shot lands. Oh, look, more Stalkers. Zest. He picks his pocket and then takes his pants and I don't like what? I feel part of the reason Zest is winning these games is because he truly, it feels like he doesn't care like he's winning these games. Like, he doesn't actually care whether he's winning. He's not taking a second to see, like, just a second. Maybe, like, a half second. He's just, oh, all right, just throw it in. We got a stew going. And, TY, even though he's such a decisive player, and he's usually so good, it feels like TY can't really keep up with the sheer amount of madness Zest is throwing his way right now. All right. So, Zest goes out to a 1-0 lead, breaking TY's dominating streak here and getting a whole bunch of extra bonus gold for it. I don't even know what Zest is doing. I'm not sure Zest knows what Zest is doing, but he's in there. 1-0 for our Protoss player. TY. Are we gonna go back to the mech drawing board? He did go bio that game. That felt like kind of a reaction to Zest opening Robo as well. We'll see. I'm still kind of reeling from that game. I'm excited to see what Zest will do next. Probe Scout going out. Is it a Scout, though? Is it a Max Pack? Well, it can't be a Max Packs now. TY not proxying any racks as of yet. We've seen that a few times, but usually to set up a better macro play afterwards. TY very calm and controlled. It was a gas first as well, so we'll have access to more gas as the racks finishes, possibly to go for reactored Hellions. We'll have to see. One gate expand against Reaper expand. Okay. Okay. Everybody simmer down. We're just playing the same-ish game again. Oh, steals gas. Okay. I don't know if it's worth it, but it is annoying to a Protoss, so I'd say that's always worth it. It looks like Zest successfully forced the command center to build slightly off. Major moral victory. I don't know if TY can be... You know what? If I'm TY, how do I feel about that game? I don't know. Is he just gonna scout that there's a random... Oh. Oh yes, of course. We're gonna do like... This isn't even on time. This is not even like that quick of a proxy. TY almost scouted it, but okay, I guess he delayed Warp Gate for it. And he got his second gas so late, TY probably isn't thinking about this. So Zest is like, I don't know, proxy Stargate? Let's do it. Throwing some Adepts in the mix. The Reaper will stay at home. Spots, and now he has to back off. The command center, thankfully, for TY will finish. The Adept kind of just shows up and says, I own the place for at least until your Hellions come out. And he's right about that. Will they be able to kill the Adept before the Shade Away? The Reaper changes the equation very slightly. The answer is no. Not even close. There, Widowmon's on the way. So it feels like... Okay, that's the timing, though. Oh no, the Mule! And guess who's back? Back again. Adept's back. Complain to friends. Oh, no. He knows there are Widow Mines now. One Hellion will run by. One Reaper in the main. How much damage can actually be done here? That's a medevac. Medevacs do not shoot oracles. Oracles shoot SCVs. This ain't... This... Oh. TY. Okay. The medevac will compete with the Oracle. Oracle does... Oh. Repair. What is going on? Like, is... TY's, once again, just partially confused and also unhappy. He's down, it's 38 to 24 workers. Is that even in the right spot? The indicator is a little off. The mineral patches are weird on this map. It looks like it's in the wrong spot, but I don't think it is. Anyway, so a defensive perimeter, but Zest just takes a third. So TY managed to kill 0 workers, whereas Zest has killed 7, and the mental damage is disgusting. He has just... Whew, and even his patrol paths are a mess. The casual proxy Stargate has kept TY from doing anything he may have planned. And now he's just getting a third with way more workers. Like, if you're TY here, what do you do? Because you can't really do a mech transition after being that far down in air control and losing a bunch of SCVs. Or can you? This is not actually enough to stop what Zest has built out of the Starcraft. Yeah, Zest knows that. He's got to be super careful, because the Oracles and Phoenixes will kill this. Like, 3 Phoenixes and 2 Oracles are more than enough. That's why we have the Widow Mines. Unless he just loses the Widow Mines. We're going to find out. Oracles, why is there a probe here? Okay. This is awkward. Thankfully for TY, Zest decided not to commit to any of this, but also thankfully for well, will Zest see? He sees the medevac. Will there be a recall? Now is the time for a recall if there's going to be one. There is. It was a little on the late side, though. The Oracles are going to burrow. That could actually work out really well for TY. Oh, the pickups? Oh, wait. He only got 1 shot off. Okay, so... Oh, we got 7 probe kills, but that was mostly the Liberator. By the way, there's a Liberator. Okay. TY kind of scrambling, but he finds some damage out there. He forces out the recall, which is something. I don't know. Like, he's just now finally building more barracks. He's just started stim as well, so that's a long, long way. Blink. Zest feeling comfortable enough to just go blink. Which is, if you think you're in trouble, you go charge, because then you can actually kill units. Blink is for being a dick to your opponent, mostly. And by that I mean keeping control of the map and the scan. He sees the Robo and the Robo Bay. Does he suspect the the Twilight Council? He spotted that as well. Like, TY. It's really hard to decide. Like, do you pull the trigger now? Or... Because if he attacks and fails, there's no coming back. He's down on economy. 1 Oracle goes down. That's big. These non-stim Marines have to just watch the SCVs die, which is very sad. And then the medevacs aren't protected by the Marines, because the Marines can't shoot out the windows of the medevacs, because that would compromise their structural integrity. This game is all about realism, by the way. Meanwhile, 2 Colossi at a time are being built. So any timing that TY might have pretended to have, yeah, it's gone. Zest is all over this game right now. He's beaten down SCVs. He's kept TY bottled up in his base. He's just exploring the entire tech tree at his leisure. Leisure is a fun word, especially pronouncing that like that. Let's all acknowledge that. Some blank stalkers as well, so that's pretty cool. He's got +1, only single upgrades, which doesn't matter much because TY only has single upgrades too. A scan. TY understands the threat. Now Zest, just expand to both. Oh my god. Oh, he just blinks in. Almost gets 2 medevacs. Not quite. I would love it. Like, this would be just full puck. If he expands here as well, we've gone full puck, which has seemed to work out so far. A scan. He spotted this nexus starting. He's looking to see if there's another nexus, which is on the table right now, to be honest. Do it. Do it, Zest. You know you want to. 2 more factories, by the way, for TY. Is he going to transition into mech? I guess he's saying, well, I'm not going to win this on the... Well, I'm not going to win this with Marines. Not this time. Are there any Archons? There is no Templar Archives. There is a Dark Shrine, though. This is the one thing. Like, TY has enough tanks to hold here. Unless he's completely out of position, in which case he doesn't have enough tanks to hold. Oh, surprise! Oh, no. That's a lot of charge lots. He was late on the draw. The tanks are being picked up. The Colossi are a little distracted. So TY a bit lucky on the early part of the fight, but not in general and just being in this position. Our Guardian Shield, he throws some more Stalkers into the mix. The Colossi are in an awkward spot. TY has to go into his main, but Zest takes it. He takes two. He takes that advantage and runs with it. Zest, like, it appears he was just building up to his full power throughout this series, or throughout today. As time has gone on, he's become more and more powerful. Strike him down to the lower bracket, and he will become more powerful than you can even imagine. Zest is making TY like TY made everyone else look. And that's saying something. We're on match point. If Zest just, I don't know. Zest might very well be best. We will see. Come on, TY. No clean sweeps here. All of the final matches. Rainer 3-0-2. Maru 3-0 Trap. Now we're at severe risk of Zest 3-0ing TY. So. We will see. What's going on? It really did feel like kind of a casual Stargate. I did not get the impression that was Zest's plan from the start. It 100% feels like he's like, you know, it'd be good? A Stargate over there. But who knows? He might just be on another level. Two to 0. TY has a ton of work to do now. The way Zest is playing, like 3 games in a row, let alone 1, but 3 games in a row is a very big ask. There goes the probe again. I mean, I say that like he's gonna get him with that probe. No, everybody scouts with the probe. Okay, like this isn't. Zest invented probe scouting. Okay, he's the first one. I won't. Everyone else is lying when they say they invented probe scouting. It was Zest the whole time. Let's bring back the 3 probe harass scouts that eventually people learned you don't need like 7 workers to counter 3 workers. You could just use like, I don't know, 3 workers. Ah yes, the good old days. What are we gonna do? 13 hatch. When are we gonna do it? Sometime before we get 1,000 minerals. Who knows? This is GSL 2010. The good old days. That's the probe will leave, but where will it go? And what will it do? Was there even a marine? He built 1 marine and is building a react. Is this a 2-1-1? TY, what are you doing? He's gonna have the gas for a factory. This is a new build out of TY with the reactor before factory. Get a solid marine count. Helps a little against potentially Stargate. And also just dealing with any initial adepts or things like that. But what does Zest do? He doesn't have much gas, and he's going for warp gate, so probably a rowboat. There you go. Now, TY in the first game, he scouted the robo and he went bio. Against Neeb, he went mech. Multiple times. We haven't seen any mech against Zest. It kind of looked like he wanted to go back after. But just... Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Shades of Zest. The fact there are 5 Marines and a reactor barracks is enough information for Zest now. He knows it's not reactored Hellion. It's not going to be a whole bunch of Widow Mines, at least early. I'm still interested to see what it is going to be from TY. He's got just the 1 gas. So, quick 3cc as well as maybe some medevac drop action. When you go Robo, the big, I guess, the big thing you're lacking, unless you decide to rush it, is any real aggressive potential. Maybe you can get a prism and build a bunch of gates, but if that gets scouted, it's pretty easy to deal with. Otherwise, you're kind of sitting back, building observers, Robo Bay. You kind of just got to roll with the punches for a while. Is he looking for the observer, TY?
Ready for dust off.
Okay. So he loads up a medevac, but there's no way for Zest to know what is in that medevac. He probably suspects Widow Mines. I don't think he saw any of the Hellions to start. He's trying to buy... He might think the medevac is for fighting, which is incorrect, by the way. There is enough energy for a recall, but the Marines make things interesting, because the Marines... Oh, TY kind of miscued the drop, unfortunately, but still going to get in with 3. How many kills? He's got his choice, but he's got to make his decision quick. All right, it's last call. Which probes do you want? 6 probes for 3 Hellions. That is mediocre. Definitely had... definitely could have gone better there. Gravitic Drive, Warp Prism Speed, and a Warp Prism on the way. So what is Zest doing now? Is this going to be another Colossus drop? Do we get to see a Disruptor drop? What do we got? Zest, surprise me. Oh, Colossus? No, you idiot. Obviously it's a mortal stalker. Don't be a fool. As he goes for a 3rd and transitions into, who knows, Blink DTs? Probably not. At this point, everything's on the table. A disrupt... What? A Dark Shroud? A Dark Shroud and a Disruptor. Zest is off his rocker and on his game. The War Prism just saunters in. Zest probably... I mean, TY probably relieved to see that there's only an Immortal and 2 Stalkers in it. Is he gonna kill... He kills the refinery, because why wouldn't he just kill the refinery? Don't tell... Like... Is that for Archon? Don't tell me he's just gonna go. At this point... Oh, the Immortal... Oh. What am I watching? What a mission. Oh! Are you kidding me? What a save! Are you serious? Like, Zest is... in every sense immortal. Like, and then the scan spots 2 Disruptors. You know you don't expect when they have 2 Disruptors? DTs. Mostly because I don't know how Zest plans to afford it. That Immortal Living is a huge deal. Even though it has 1 HP, it will have a barrier. It's going to take focus away from the Ruptors. If he didn't have that Immortal, I think the Disruptors just kind of die. But also, Zest is just warping in a bunch of DTs, because why wouldn't he be? We're going into a DT base trade. Zest is an absolute madman. The 3rd base is gone. Into the main, the Speed Prism goes, where of course there's no detection, because why would there be detection? Meanwhile, a Viking is on the deck. The Disruptor count is growing. The DTs are going to work. Both sides are slaughtering each other's workers. The DTs are still in the main. There's no more scans. He's building a 3rd command center. This Viking is the real MVP. This is like the Heart of the Swarm trailer, except it actually did something. Meanwhile, the DTs are killing everything. Because, why do you... Disruptor? Are you kidding me? It's hard to tell. If that Viking hadn't killed 12 probes, or somewhere most of those probes at least. Oh, the prism! Does he have a scan? No, don't you dare warp in a DT there, Zest. Jesus Christ. Oh, there's another add-on. Please uninstall all your add-ons before Zest arrives, or he will uninstall them for you. Gee, what? Like, what are you gonna friendly fire? Meanwhile, is it over? Is it over? No! He's just warping in stalkers! He's going for the base! He's not gonna get it, but, oh, does he lose the prism? No, because why wouldn't you have speed prism? Oh, surprise! Another Dark Templar! Who needs blink when you have speed prisms? What is that? Zest is all over the place. On today's episode of Will It Burn? The smorgasbord strats. He has to pull the... And meanwhile, Zest is re-expanding. The Viking, the real MVP. Okay, that Viking. If TY does end up pulling this game out of whatever trenches we're in right now, that Viking gets like a purple heart, a gold star, and possibly like 30 to 50 feral zerglings. But that Viking is the only reason TY is in this game. The afterthought he threw into the main. Now the Viking could have been helpful to kill the prism, but meanwhile, this there's 3 disruptors. He's building Colossi and going extended thermal lance. Charge is on the way. It's still a long way off. TY has a very strong army. But where are the tanks? The tanks are going home? This prism doesn't seem to care. The army's also moving out. And TY's like over here. He's traumatized by that warp prism. And I mean, to be fair. We will find you. Oh my god, he just baited him entirely out of position. Well, and then he killed him because Zest decided he wouldn't... Well, Zest is probably like, wait, why is your entire army there? I didn't think it would work that well. Okay, so... Does that work? Oh, I thought he would get 2. He did just use 2 disruptor cooldowns, so... Almost dodged the scan with the obs. What's next from Planet Zest? Oh, is he gonna get upgrades now? Oh. By the way, he doesn't have any upgrades because he never built any forges because he was busy building dark shrines and disruptors. Blink is on the way as well. I'll just throw that in there. So, it looks like we're going to buckle down a little bit here and play what resembles, like, TY scanning everywhere. Remember, the DTs are still a threat. That Marine may remember in a moment. Oh, he's using Caster Park, by the way. That might be TY, I'm not sure. But, oh, well, this is awkward. These Vikings find the prisms. That's not reacting in time. Oh, he drops him out. He recalls 2 DTs. I don't know if TY noticed that was a DT recall, but... So now Zest has a bunch of random units. He's got more spell casting than Hogwarts right now. He's got to cast all his sentry spells, blink, any disruptors. He's got a prism involved. There's also DTs to manage. He's going for a 4th. What are the upgrades? 1-1 versus 0-0. Zest is like, what does the upgrade timing mean to disruptors? Not very much! Shots fired. Hits the tank. He's just going to fire another one. Throwing a curveball. Gets 1 tank. The other one. This Marauder is having a real rough day. Zest is all over the place. He just does not hold back. By the way, there's another prism. I don't know how many prisms. Yes, I can... 2 prisms. This prism number 3. Come on down. Any more disruptors? He fires a fadeaway shot. The Vikings doing pretty well. By the way, some charge lots over here. There's only a single tank to defend. TY stretched pretty thin. There is a planetary. And once the planetary is done, he has a lot more capability to defend multiple locations. But Zest he's feeling it. The DT Blink is now being researched because, obviously, honestly, a little late on that. Meanwhile, Disruptor's just saying, I don't know if you don't really want to go outside. It's dangerous out there. Meanwhile, TY moves completely out of position. That Ghost very dead. The tank not so. Oh wait, he saved the Ghost. Beautiful save by TY, and he drops it out for an EMP. The charge lots were cleaned up. Zest down 30 supply because he kind of just lost everything. And oh my God, TY has caught the bug. He's going to send out... he won a fight, and now he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just send out 5 medevacs, 4 of which are full, and the other one is a decoy, I guess. But, of course, there's a Dark Templar acting as the sneakiest observer. You don't expect that. And he spots the army moving out. Zest will pull back as TY chases. The Disruptor going to return fire. Doesn't find much, but this drop has been spotted, but I doubt TY realizes. Meanwhile, a counterattack, and a forward attack, and a pullback, and a re-rack. And oh, there's the Templar Archives, an admission of defeat from Zest. Meanwhile, he spots the DT. The DT just walks it out. The Disruptor going to kill Terran units. It was in question for a bit. 8 more DT is going to be warped in. Zest is gonna push these. DT Blink is done. Zest, TY has an upgrade advantage, but the mind games go entirely. Oh, yeah, the tank shot's doing pretty well after those EMPs. Meanwhile, the DTs are laying into the bio, but there was detection, so most of them kind of just died. Zest is like, yep, that army's still there. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but. Got a few more SCVs. Meanwhile, there's a huge warp in. Also a ton of DTs as well, but TY has a bunch of medevacs. He can actually hold his ground. Look, 40 Ts! And he he just blinks in. Yeah, didn't expect that, did you, TY? Meanwhile, income Disruptors almost enough to kill the planetary. How many Disruptors are in there? 6 of them. He's blinking DTs on one side and throwing out half a dozen Disruptor shots on the other. TY, even if overall he's in a strong position, he's got to feel... What game are we even playing right now? Oh, he sees the DTs, but do the DTs see him? They blank out. Okay. 3-3 is finishing up. 2-2 is done for Zest. There's a timing here where these gateway units are going to be pretty good up against the bio. Zest is going to shore that up pretty quick, but where are the tanks? Where are the tanks? Oh, the tanks are in a weird spot. Disruptors are firing. Where are they going? Like, kind of everywhere. They didn't really do anything. But meanwhile, DTs. Also, more DTs. And anything that starts with D is at a premium. The Disruptors are being chased down. The DTs are doing their best. Zest warps in. What? The DTs are doing damage. Wait, there's a bunch. Wait, also DTs. So Zest just got completely obliterated there. Are there more scans? He blinks away. But DTs are still. What? At some point, he can't continue rebuilding these units, right? Like, Zest got absolutely trashed. The Disruptors just started firing blindly. Spray and pray is not a good long-term strategy when you have charge lots. He's building Templar. Oh, he's researching Storm now. He's building Disruptors, DTs, High Templar, and he's throwing them each away like they're candy. Like candy he doesn't like because he's trying to get rid of them, I would assume. Kind of like, I don't know, like, I'm going to offend someone here. Almond Joys. And you'd be like, I like Almond Joys. Okay, Boomer. Anyways, EMP comes through. He EMP'd his own ghost! Ah! Which is a thing that can happen in case you didn't know. Meanwhile, there's a traffic jam on the ramp because of the factory placement. Zest just flies out. Nukes! There are nukes on the way! Because TY has decided, yeah, okay, this is the game we're playing. TY has the army. Everything is coming together for him. Like, he has double the army supply. For all intents and purposes. Zest should be super dead. This game is 18 minutes long, and no one's quite sure why, including the players. Meanwhile, there's like 6 Dark Templar over there, because where else would they be? Oh, another Disruptor, a fadeaway shot, but the tanks are getting closer, and he's building turrets. He's had enough of this. I don't know about this. I don't know, Kev. This doesn't seem like the best DT location. Meanwhile, Disruptor shot. Finds some ghosts. Another shot. And not so much. The DT's looking for an opportunity. This is why we build like the SCVs are pulled with it. Zest has been given some time to build. EMPs though. Yeah, that's just, yeah. I don't know. Disruptors are about to come back off cooldown. Meanwhile, what else? Oh, he has to dodge his own charge lots with Disruptors. Another shot. Like the blink DTs are, oh, they get involved. What is going on? Can you move, Vikings? I can't see the fight. He's blinking in. Okay, so sanity remains intact. Zest loses, but but the fact that Zest loses was in question for so long. He decided, you know how you defend a big Terran army? Is by base trading with a Speed Prism Dark Templar drop and Disruptors. Which is dumb. I mean, if you ask me, if like a Twitch chair came in like, why don't people go DT Disruptor? I'd be like, wow, what are you, Silver League? And the answer would be, no, of course not, because that person doesn't play. They just are in Twitch chat a lot. Though they were probably Diamond back in 2012, but then they stopped playing because Blizzard really ruined the game for them by adding Swarm hosts, even though they played Zerg, and Heart of the Swarm didn't come out until 2013. Fix it, Blizzard! Okay. Well, we get a game 4. No clean sweep this time. What a mess. Will Zest pull it back? Or is he capable? Two to 1. What a series. What a match. And this is just the qualifiers. I don't even know, because TY, I feel like he wanted to go Mac. But then madness. Zest, on the other hand, I don't know if Zest has, like, even knows what he wants to do until well after he does it. Like, he went Colossus drop one game. I can't stress how much going DT Disruptor is such a Twitch chat grandmaster, like, LOL Winter, go DT Disruptor. And I'm like, why do you hate my ladder points? But yeah, it came down to the Viking. That Viking, like, Zest had he had the tools to break TY before he could stabilize. Once TY gets everything together, even when Zest kept pressuring him, TY with a macro engine going is hard to stop. But Zest has done a whole... Where are you going? What? That's your side of the map, Zest. Zest, this is your side. He's on the other side. Okay. Zest does not seem to care about these simple facts. They are of no concern to him. This is where his pylon is going. and I better learn to like it. This Reaper's going a bit of a weird pathing. Might just be going towards the ledge immediately. Ah, a Twilight. Why wouldn't it be a Twilight? Now we gotta take a guess, like, watch him just go blink. Is he gonna go DT blink? No, this has to be Glaives, right? I say Glaives because obviously he's filling out his, like, bingo card, and all he needs is Glaives for a bingo. Like, he's gotten Disruptors, we gotten DTs, Colossus drop, he went Proxy Stargate, but in order to get that full bingo, and it's probably like one of those diagonal ones, too. Because you're hitting a home. What? Are you? What? That doesn't even make sense. This, like... and then he's like, then TY will scout it. And he'll think it's not Blink, but guess what? It's just a Blink macro build, you fool. Like, I was like, it's not... It'd be too dumb to just go Hidden Blink. But... I don't... At some point, this man has to be stopped. Like, at some point... So, here's the issue. For the last few years, it's felt like, especially a couple years ago, not that recently, but it felt like Protoss had to relearn how to play with every patch. It's like, now there's no Mothership Core. Press F to pay respects. Okay, now we have shield batteries, and now all our units are different. And now Zest is like, well, not much changed, but also just kind of do whatever you want. I bet right now, like TY, I think Zest is happy that the Twilight got scouted. In fact, there's a small chance he went out of his way to make sure it got scouted. Like, it was so obvious something was being proxied. I don't know anymore. The thing is, a decent counter is kind of just building units and working up to a stim timing. So, if TY doesn't overreact, it doesn't appear he is. Has he seen the third base, though? Yeah, Zest just took a third. This is a macro hidden / not hidden blink. So, and now he's going... I don't think TY will be moving out nearly in time to punish. Like, the Nexus is done. TY didn't even scan. Like, TY is usually on top of knowing when a third base is happening. And the third base just... It happened. It's already happened. It exists. And the fact that Twilight was scouted has kept TY in his base just completely afraid of, I don't know, whatever happens. That many Stalkers is already a little suspicious. TY's got to be like, oh no. Did he? Did he just go Blake? Oh no. Meanwhile, Hinton. So, also, this is a scouting immortal, because immortals have more HP than observers, therefore they are better scouts. See? Observer would have died in one hit. This way. Meanwhile, this was just a decoy for the Blink Stalkers to come in, obviously. Meanwhile, the auto turret harass doing a lot of damage. I said a lot. I thought he was going to throw down 2. He didn't go for it. I guess he wanted to save energy in order to be able to attack. Don't lose the Raven. We are all over the place right now. I don't even know. Meanwhile, the Raven just dies. What? Okay. So the Stalkers are pretty far out of position. Also, you don't have to kill the turrets. You can just leave. That scan makes it pretty obvious what's going down here, by the way. And the Observer going to make it even more obviouser. There is no charge, so the Widowmines, he's got to scan that Observer, ideally. There's only one tank because he made so many mines. Probably because he thought this was charge or something. So TY, like, if he had 2 tanks, I think right now, oh my god. Well, there goes that. If he had 2 tanks, I think he could push this. Especially if he had the Raven. But, did he build another Twilight? No, we're gonna start charge. There's a drop, but alright, so okay. So he will be probably finishing the charge on the Twilight. Zest just now adding on his extra gate. Wait, he's going. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. He has 6 gates. He's adding 6 more gates. All right, let me get my hands out. Oh, I can't count that high. 12 gates. All right, what? While going. We're going to get Gravitic Drive. Everybody loves Speed Prism. You saw what they did in the last games. Is Drilling Claws even on the table? No, Armory just started up, by the way, there. As a prism over here. He's also building another prism because 1 prism is never enough. Zest is getting some upgrades. Charge is nearing completion. He's going to have 12 gates, I reiterate. This is a Widow Mine drop. It was trying to be a Widow Mine drop, no longer succeeding at its purpose. Meanwhile, the Speed Prism charge lots, well, not quite charge lots yet, but... So, we're gonna get weird again. Still no Templar of any kind. He's getting Observer Speed because we're just kind of checking off the boxes on the Robobay right now. Prism in the main, which is never fun for a tank. Like, this is like this is possibly one of the worst feelings. Is a Prism gets in the main and you're like, oh no. That's not enough army here, by the way. Like, the Prism's still there. What? Where's the Colossi? Oh, they're there. Because that's just kind of filtering through. The boys are going to be pulled. He's going to lose a whole lot of them. How much will Zest lose? 7 SCVs so far. Where are the rest of the Vikings? That is the rest of the Vikings. So 13 SCVs kind of just died. Zest is just chilling. He's still got some Stalkers. I mean, why not? Zest keeps warping in dozens of charge lots, literally by the dozen. That's what happens when you get a dozen gateways. 2-2 is about to finish. TY is still really far off it. He's got a lot of buyout. There's like 2 Colossi is not quite enough. It's not enough to just say no to bio. Even with the upgrades, like angle is super important. A choke point, incredibly helpful. Charge lots waiting for their moment.
Reporting.
Ghosts, obviously done. Why? What was over here? I don't know. Meanwhile, this army. Meanwhile, this charge lots. Good luck, TY. He's got to figure all this out. Some EMPs on the backslide. Zest is moving in here. 13 SCVs are dead already. Zest has 69 probes, which he thinks is a pretty nice number based on the fact he's not building anymore. More SCV is going to go down. He's trading with Blink Stalkers while the charge lots... Oh, just a few more Stalkers as well. Just throw them in there. TY really hoping to get these +2 upgrades, but... The stim is their Guardian Shield. I think he landed the EMPs. Oh, a bunch more charge lots are coming up from literally every angle. The Vikings got to do their damage. He's got to get rid of the splash damage. +2 weapons is done. Does he drop the Vikings? Zest is trying to block on him, but he blocked forward, which means TY is tearing up the Stalkers. Here comes some more. There are some charge lots, but at this point, I think TY can come. Oh, wait, there are also charge lots over here. Zest is just killing SCVs left and right. He's giving out charge lots to every base that wants them and doesn't take no for an answer. And oh, here's some more. Don't you dare blink and try to kill that base. What, Zest? Why are you still here? Go home. Meanwhile, the orbital. Meanwhile, the warp prism. Go home, Zest. Zest is determined to make this as close as possible by... Well, 3-3 is going to finish up. Zest just keeps warping it. Zest has 2,900 gas and 0 Fs. Like, he could warp in like 24 Archons right now. Here's some charge luck. Here you go. I don't think 24 Archons, but a lot of Archons. Many. Zest is all over the place. And that's it. And now he is qualified for I Am Katowice. He takes it all the way home. GG. Zest with the 3-1 victory over TY. TY dominating his side. What a heartbreaker for him, by the way, to fight all the way through the loser's bracket with such strength. And then Zest comes in like a bull in a china shop and absolutely obliterate whatever semblance of a plan or sanity or basic common sense that TY thought he had. He does no longer. Oh my God. Zest does it. That will conclude the North American, well, okay, so it started on NA. NA players were invited. Didn't end that way. Rainer, Maru, and Zest will qualify. What an absolute madman.